amour, sans souci, sans problème. Oui, la belle vie, on est seul, on est libre, et on traîne. On s'amuse à passer, sans peur du lendemain. Les nuits blanches qui se penchent sur les petits matins. Et la belle vie, sans amour, sans souci, sans problème.
What's up, Kent? Merry Christmas.
Et la belle vie,
I got a hat for the night.
on s'enlace, on est triste et on traîne. Alors pense que je t'aime, et quand tu auras compris, réveille-toi, je serai là pour toi.
Llega la vida y yo sin ti. Fucking cockroaches. Motherfucking Freeman. Bad guy. Motherfucking man. You know? Come on. It's the cartel, nigga.
Whoever's on, I'll be on at 7. Good Christmas music.
Everything we do, we put Versace on the sofa. The money got me geek, like I took a hit of coke. My life is a movie, I gotta stay focused. Tony Martin, Tony Martin, Tony Martin, Tony Martin. Sick about my ears, Tony Martin.
Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak, and I seem to find the happiness I see when we out together, dance cheek to cheek. Yes, heaven, I'm in heaven, and the kids that hung around me through the week seems to vanish like a gambler's lucky streak. When we out together, dancing cheek to cheek. Oh, I'd love to climb the mountain, reach the highest peak, but it doesn't thrill me half as much as dancing cheek to cheek. Oh, I'd love to go out fishing and in a river or a creek, but I don't enjoy it half as much as dancing cheek to cheek. Now, mama, dance with me. I want my arms about you, the charms about you will carry me through. Yes, heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. And I seem to find the happiness I seek when we out together, dancing cheek to cheek. Take it, Ella, swing it. Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. And I seem to find the happiness I see when we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek. Heaven, I'm in heaven, and the cares that hung around me through the week seem to vanish like a gambler's lucky streak. When we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek. Oh, I love to climb a mountain and to reach the highest peak, but it doesn't really have as much as dancing cheek to cheek. Oh, I love to go out fishing in a river or a creek, but I don't enjoy it half as much as dancing cheek to cheek. Come on and dance with me. I want my arm about you. The charm about you will carry me through to heaven. I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. And I seem to find the happiness I seek when we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek. Yes, dance with me. I want my arms around you. The charm about you will carry me through to heaven. I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. And I seem to find the happiness I see when we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek. I recently purchased the most popular glucose meter online and decided to test it with you. If you people stay just a little bit longer, we wanna play just a little bit longer. Don't mind, you don't mind. Take a little time, leave it all behind. One more song. Oh, won't you stay just a little bit longer? Take a little time to leave us all behind and sing one more song. Do you like it?
Hey, amazing. How are you? Can you guys hear me out there? Put some in the chat. Let me know that you can hear me. I hope you're well. Just put a 1 or something up if you wouldn't mind, whoever's out there. I'd appreciate it. Been a long time since I've been on YouTube. Yeah, just do me a solid. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me all right, if it's coming through. May, how are you? I got you. Cool, cool. Thanks for tuning in. So I want to reconnect on YouTube. I don't know, the lighting's a little off. Hey, what's up, Hobbit? How are you guys? I think this is a little delayed. Let me see on this end here. It's okay if it is. Little delayed, nothing terrible. But sorry, the picture's a little bit blurry, but I'm just gonna get into this because most people will watch it on the recording. Let me see if the lighting's any better. And I'll just edit all this out. But I hope you guys are having a nice night. And yeah, I'll get started. So welcome, whoever's out there. You're probably watching this on the replay, but I want to do a quick Christmas live stream, partially to promote an upcoming Christmas whatnot show, which I'll show you some of the books I'm going to put in. It's going to be this Friday. I've been putting the link in the comment section. There will be a link in this video itself when it goes recorded. And I'm going to put it in right there. If you haven't signed up, I got some excellent material. And tomorrow night, Tuesday night, which is the 9th, I'll be running a show out of my secondary building at 5:30. So where you guys can pick the books. We did it a couple weeks ago. A lot of fun. I didn't realize how much I was lacking in packaging material until that show. So that was a bit of a headache, but we got it done. We packed till like 2:30 in the morning. So I'm prepared now. But anyways, first I'll just in the reconnection process, the reason why I've been off the channel for so long, if y'all already didn't know, was because I got tremendously sick at the beginning of the year. And it probably backed me up by about 5 months. I was sick for 2 months solid. So it was quite horrendous. I couldn't even talk. For 4 weeks, I couldn't talk. So let's pray to God that doesn't happen this year. I've been taking my vitamins, so we'll see. But I've been able to catch my business back up, basically to the standard where it needs to be. I made up for all that time, and now I'm just kind of forging ahead with it. And so I got somebody that's been helping me out. I got a couple people I'm working into the business, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Any questions, comments, whatever. Free for all tonight. No standard format. But back to what I was saying, I did a interview like a few years back with a fella, and who was asking me, my vision of the business. And I got an email very recently from somebody basically saying how close to that process have I gotten to where the shop can kind of operate on itself. And the biggest struggle in this area was always trying to find people willing to work, to be competent people, to be quite honest with you, and that wanted to do the work. So it's always kind of been an ongoing battle. I mean, let's face it, no one's going to really care about your business, more than you do. And so I've learned a lot from having employees in the past, and I think what helps separate is systems, basically implementing proper systems and expanding upon them. And so I'm currently working on getting more space for my business for processing, and working on a couple different streams coming in. So I've also been taking some time to myself to do a little bit of writing. I kind of wanted to just similar with YouTube, kind of document my journey and have some of my own stories so I don't forget them. And that's been kind of fun. So it's purely for myself, and maybe someday I share a little bit with you guys, So that's what's been going on. I'm going to be decorating both shops this coming weekend. So that'll be cool. I kind of got out of the habit of doing that. But yeah, let me see what else I got. I wasn't buying as heavily this year. I was really watching my spending a bit more. I still did buy quite heavily, and I bought some of the most fantastic books I've ever come across this year. I guess a couple examples would be the 1599 Bible, the 1613 King James. Those are a couple of my favorites. I also found a travel expedition book, very significantly rare, of a man's journey across the nation, Maximilian Prince of Wied, and that was fantastic. Uh, so I've found great picks in the area. Another 2-volume set, Travel in the Middle East, that I've been enjoying. So it's been a healthy picking season. I just haven't been documenting it like I normally have in the past. So next year I'll try to revamp the batteries and start putting out content again. I know people have wondered if I'm still alive, and so here I am touching base. Life got a bit busy for me. So, but I always love your guys' support, and I appreciate you checking in for sure. But I'm still kicking over here. It's going to be like 1 degree out today, so I'm worried about my pipes freezing. That's my main concern. But anyhow, I'm gonna put up, I'm gonna show you some books on the screen for the promotion of the whatnot. And Whatnot's been going well. It's interesting. I have someone worked in right now helping me set up shows, and every show I learn something, and trying to rework and refine how I run them. And I'm very proud that we ship everything out 1 day shipping. Everything's packed and secure. But the shows will evolve, and I'm learning just like every other aspect of this business, whether it was eBay or Amazon or the shop itself. And So yeah, it's going well. I have no complaints in those regards. Just sometimes you have to take small hits at the beginning, but it's the strategy. You know, I have a strategy, and so far it's played out okay. So it could be better, and that's how I'm working on my growth. 11 years now in it, and to go back to what I was speaking about earlier, I don't know if I ever completed that thought. He was asking how close I'm coming to get it to run itself, and it's pretty much it's pretty much there. At least a portion of the business is. In this way, I can pay more attention to individual buyers and collectors. I'm helping build their collections and sourcing top tier material. That's where I want my attention to be. Um, the general material definitely pays the bills and the overhead and covers costs, but I'd rather handle one book and make what I do in a month off the general material. So you need a little bit of cash to do that. So I'm growing into that positioning and building that customer base and that relationship basically to sell to that kind of tier. And I also am not neglecting the other tiers as well. So you know, anyhow, that's in a nutshell. I'm getting there. It's probably partially there, and the full implementation will come when I have a couple more pieces added into the puzzle. So let's see what Maze says here. I feel like many bookstores have their niche. What do you feel like that may be for you, as in what you carry and so on? So my niche basically is New York history. I love history. I have maybe a couple different niches, and that's definitely one of them that I want to continue to expand upon and get that kind of material in. Currently, I have like Native American encounters of my general area. Uh, primary source material that I think is fantastic. I love just showing that stuff to people, and people who enjoy that get a real kick out of it. So, I want people to in this area kind of be proud of where they come from, know the background of the area a bit more, and I think they really appreciate it, and we share in a connection that way. So that's one area that's going to continue to expand upon. Um, that's a niche. The other niche is basically hunting, fishing, and firearms. I'm in an outdoorsy, woodsy area, so it's very proper for this area. It seems to work well. I had the main business closed down this whole summer, and because I needed to play catch up, so this was closed. So I only had private dealers coming into the shop. Um, so this kind of material didn't sell as heavily as it normally would. That's why I ran like a whatnot hunting and fishing show to kind of move some of that down the road and make space for more. But that's my main niche. That's where my focus is, and I'd like to continue to build out on that. Um, and yeah, New York writers, New York history, and in particularly this area, Shenango County, Broome County. A part of that is also, I think, finding uh, antiques that relate to it too. I do enjoy that, and I do put stuff in the shop. I pepper it in. I think people really enjoy that. It makes for what I'm trying to do is provide an experience here, basically, with both buildings. Um, so the setup is different in both, but the experience here is unique, one of a kind items that you're not going to generally find too many places. So I talk long-winded sometimes, excuse me, but there you go, New York. So anyhow, if you guys have any more questions, put them in the chat. Be happy to answer them. Let me see. I wrote down a little list so I don't forget anything. I talked about the best books I picked and how the year went, playing that catch-up game, but it's going well, and developing other streams of my writing. So there you go. I caught all up. And Amy's on the stream. Hello, Amy. Welcome. Amy says, do you think you'll stay in that location for good or try to consolidate in another larger location? So I have a lot of different ideas. My mind is always cooking as how to capitalize with the most of what I got, how to do it better. I go double into what's working. One idea that recently came up is how to corner certain markets. I want to be the first people come to when they have material. And so I have an idea I'm not really going to share at this point, but to get a foothold in reaches. So I would like to keep this as a central location still because it's established. But let's just put it this way. I've absolutely considered getting footholds in other locations. Now, from a financial sense, like of what can your business generate in other areas, that's where it gets a little bit funny, okay? Because obviously, if I was in a more prosperous area, I could expect more sales, but your overhead goes up. So I'm trying to figure out a clever way to still get a foothold outside of those particular type of communities. Keep this as the mothership, basically, because the costs are very low, and I own them and whatnot, and but create footholds. So yes, kind of like hubs to that'll give me access to more material in good areas, in maybe better areas. So it's going to require well, of course, a little bit of capital like anything, but a strategic plan as to how to handle that and how to set that up. So it's not necessarily like an open shop like I do now, maybe just a location drop off or something of that effect. So I think I have something that's fairly well thought out, but right now my main focus is refining the systems here, getting the proper pieces to allow me now to explore those different options. So but it's always a work in progress, and every year I add something to the business. This I wanted before I did something like a whatnot. I wanted to be able to be consistent with it, not come in and out on a month to month basis. Now that platform has its issues, but it has been very beneficial for cash flow purposes. So, and I'm starting to build up a little bit of a following. So for me, it's worth sticking with it. And next year it might be something else, that I kind of add to the repertoire here. Another tool to the belt, basically. So anyhow, but that's kind of how I've always gone about it. But I've stretched myself in the past and it's been horrendous. So I'm trying not to do that. I have a tendency to put myself in positions of pressure, and I always come through, I always perform, but at the same time it gets exhausting. So I really don't want to do that no more. So work a little bit smarter. If working hard got you rich, then your average factory worker that gets up at 4 a.m. Would be rich. So I'm trying to work a lot smarter, and it is paying off and maintaining my discipline, obviously. So this year I'm not going to Florida. I'm knuckling down right here in the shop. But so anyhow, but yeah, my show link to anybody out there, again, it's this Friday, 7 p.m. start. I'm going to add more books to the show. I'm going to share it in my link right now. So, and again, into next year, so you can sign up there, you can leave bids. Into next year, I'm going to get back on YouTube and really try to knuckle down. So I've been working on stuff. If YouTube, paid me if I made good money off of YouTube, trust me, I'd be on here more. But sometimes the outside world of it, obviously, it takes my attention, and I'm a bookseller. I don't have programs or courses. I sell books. So I put out content that takes a minute sometimes to make. So as you could tell, my camera work is a little shoddy here, but I'm trying. So I'm going to get into some of the books I'm going to be putting up for the auction. I just put up this one. It's a Daniel Boone book. And this is a really cool book. You know, I've had it for a long while. And so I want to move it down the road. This is The First White Man of the West, or The Life and Exploits of Colonel Daniel Boone, the first settler of Kentucky, interspersed with Incidents in the Early Annals of the Country by Timothy Flint, 1858. That's $1 starting bid right there. And I go through the condition on the stream for those of you unfamiliar, but it has, I believe, like 8 illustrations throughout the book. So this is very cool. It's a bit heavily foxed in certain areas. Here he is fighting against some Indians there on the frontier. Very cool book. I'll show you a couple other ones here. I'll show you this one. This is a book from, I bought this in Pennsylvania probably 10 years ago. Never put it up to the market. It's called The English Housewife, 1656. It's over 100 years for this was even a country. So I'm just going to show you the front of this. But it has elixirs in it. It has different, what do you call it, cooking and stuff like that. So I'll just show you the front there. And it actually, for the first time, and it's not complete, I note that in the description, for the first time, a popular food of the English, apparently with their tea, was called Banbury cake. And so that recipe is supposed to be in this cookbook. And I'm going to do a little further exploring before the show begins. So that's pretty neat. Banbury cake. So I guess they eat it with their tea. So it's like a traditional British recipe. Now, I believe this is a 3rd edition. I think the first, if memory serves me right, was 1615. So that's 1656. Still a beautiful early cookbook. And then I put up, I'll show you this one here. This is a Tolkien, Silmarillion, 1st edition. So I put that up. So that's a pretty cool book. And some of these have, the last 2 I showed you have some pretty good bids. And I'm going to put up more. If you guys are going to join the show, please feel free to put in an author or a genre or something, and I could try to find it for you. The other book I put up was Gulliver's Travels by Arthur Rackham, illustrated by Arthur Rackham. And this is a beautiful book filled with illustrations within. Very nice book. Again, I thought these would make for great Christmas books. And they're not the cheapest books out there, but we'll see what it looks like at the auction. Maybe you guys could get a nice deal. Here's A Century of Arts and Letters. So this book is actually signed by everybody on that cover. All the names here. I think it's 11 signatures. So I thought that would be a fantastic addition. They include Norman Mailer, Arthur Schlesinger Jr., John Updike. This actually came from a author's book collection that I picked years ago. They moved up from the city. It was Horton Kalisher's book. She was an author. I actually have all of her author edition books up in this case. They're beautifully leather bound. So, and I might make a sale on all of them either by the end of this year or into the next year. Somebody that's a big fan of her work. I'm just trying to put together the letters that I have from Kalisher and stuff like that before I, put them as a grouping and sell them all together. And another book I have, I left half of them over there, but this one is Views in Scotland. This is a beautiful presentation of this book, as you can see, and it's just filled with engravings of Scotland. Now, this is a volume 2. There is a volume 1 out there, which I had years ago in a different format, but just really fantastic The 3/4 leather, the marble boards, the nice, beautiful plate right there. It's a really endearing book. Little vignettes across, just filled. So, and then I put in like a beautiful Shakespeare box set, in some different collector books like that. I have 2 Ralph Epperson conspiratorial books that he signed, and I think they're the last 2 I have now in the shop, so I put them up as well. So I'm trying to get a little bit of a nice mixture for the general audience out there. And again, I'll also be running a show out of the Red Building tomorrow night at 5:30 p.m., and you guys can pick the books. I have some pre-listed, and then I'll take you around. You just got to let me know what you're interested in, and we'll run them. So that's pretty much all I had to show. If anybody wants to ask a question out there, whatever, just say hello. You're more than welcome to. I know it's been a very long time since I've been on YouTube, so I'd like to just, put out a video, put out a Merry Christmas video. I hope you all are going to have a very nice Christmas wherever you are in this world. And thank you all too for the subscribership. I have over 6,200, I believe, which is really fantastic. That really means a lot to me. So I got to get cooking with more material to give you guys. And so yeah, I will get to that in the new year. So, oh, Merry Christmas, Penny. Yes, hello. I hope you've been well. It's been a long time. It's good to hear from you. So yeah, Merry Christmas to all. I even got my here, I'll show you. I even got my snowman hat on. I was gonna rock. Then I got self-conscious. I found this in a thrift store, but he's even got the nose popping out. So Merry Christmas to everybody. I decided not to bring the eggnog in the shop tonight because I didn't want to end it in disaster. Say something messed up and get people mad at me, and I can't edit that out, so we'll keep it kosher. But anyways, yes, Merry Christmas to you all, and I hope you guys are able to join me in that Whatnot stream. I'll just share my thoughts on Whatnot a little bit for the general audience out there, whether or not you're familiar with it. First of all, their customer service is garbage, I gotta say. I finally am able to do media mail shipping, but it's going to be a very interesting platform as more and more sellers come into the fold. I kind of think about how that's going to play out, because the bar is now even lowered farther for people to enter, which I don't mind. I just wonder how it's going to be handled in time. So it's a very interesting thing to me. I don't know the answer to it, but when you have everybody and their mother on there selling books or cards or antiques, I'm not sure how that'll play out. But I am a believer that if you're consistent on a platform and you offer quality, that that goes a long way. So and Damon Alexander says, anything from Robert Service? Possibly. I have Robert Service in the Red Building. If you want to tune in tomorrow, Damon, that I can put together a clumping of services work for you. I'm going to write that down. So that's tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. If you can make it. I'm going to write that down. I used to have a signed Robert Service, and I believe that's sold. If I haven't sold it, I will. I'll find it in this building, and maybe I'll put it up for my Christmas stream. Dependent, we'll see. But Emily Dickinson vintage. Okay, I'm going to write that down, May. And what I would say to you is the same I said to Damon. I would come in tomorrow's stream, and I'm going to find the Emily Dickens that I have over there and offer it up, okay? And you just remind me on the stream if you're there, and I'll put up an allotment of her. Okay? Yeah, you're very welcome. Wow, Alaska, no kidding. Yeah, you guys could type in where you're from. I always like to know where people are viewing from. Boy, I'm crying because it's cold here, and you're probably like in an igloo or some hut, shivering. Shivering with the Eskimos. Man, must be freezing there. I would love to see your state though. It looks beautiful. I would love to see it. Someday. Someday. My sister's been there and really enjoyed it. So Tennessee and Washington, that's what's up, man. J J.G. Benman. I went to Tennessee earlier in the year. I was in Santa Fe. Yep, Santa Fe, Tennessee. Beautiful, beautiful state. Oh, Lapina's in here. Hello, sweetheart. How are you? Thanks for coming in. Bene. Love that you're journaling. Oh, you've been here for a minute, huh? A book will be on someday if your life. Lapina says for the replay, come va bene. She says, love that you're journaling. A book will bid on someday. If your life were on a shelf in your store, which section would it be today? That's quite a question. I don't know, probably the psychiatric shelf. I, I think you got to be crazy to start a bookstore today. But no, I'd probably be cozied up somewhere. I don't know. We're probably in the cabinet over here next to my favorites with some beautiful marble boards, some tight leather, raised spine. That's the book I'd be enclosed in. So, but yeah, no, I do love what I do. I'm blessed to do it. Sometimes I get bitching a lot, to be quite honest with you. Some of my friends understand the internal things that go on that you guys are not privy to and never will be. But I've come a long way since the beginnings. And yeah, but it has been fun actually writing a bit. I've been very disciplined to try to do something daily. And so I write a little story of something that's happened here, and it's really cool. I've been enjoying it, and yeah, maybe someday I do put something out for the public. I might read a story on the channel and put together something, and maybe people would enjoy it. I've recorded people. uh I always wanted to kind of capture the culture of my shop and the people that are in here and around here, because it's very unique to most bookshops. I'll tell you that. It's a little bit edgy, a little bit very real characters that come here though, with really unique personalities. It's people. It's very surprising who comes out here, who I've met, who I've done business with, and who hangs out around the shop. I've actually recorded a couple older folks that have come in here to talk about the shop and stories surrounding it, and some with me. And I kind of have them in the memory on my computer saved for myself. I debate whether or not I should put them out. Maybe someday, but we'll see. I think some of you may have some interest. The tough thing is I know a lot of guys aren't going to want to be on camera, and I don't like. This is very unnatural for me, even though I've become a lot better at it. It's when you have a camera in your face. So we'll see how it works. We'll see. But let's see. Oh, hello, other Amy from Tennessee. How are you? It's good to see you. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Hope you've been well down there, jamming out. Amy from New Hampshire, Cabinet of Controversy. Yeah, I might be in there. It's not that I try to be. It's just, I guess, in today's day and age, it seems like I don't know how to say it, but what you think is fine, other people find controversial, but that's okay. I really don't mind. Yeah, I've been good. Just chilly. Chilly. That's all. But I got heat cooking, so I'm okay. I still haven't really winterized this place too well, and I'm here for the long haul. No Florida trip. No Florida trip this year. I'm knuckling down hard. Check the Smithsonian. They have done oral histories. Oh, okay. That might be a good template to start. You're right. You're right. I've seen a lot of videos on that. I've seen a lot of things that they put out on like old blues players. I used to really be into the blues a lot, and those are really cool. So yeah, Smithsonian's pretty cool for sure. Yeah, thanks for that idea there, JG Benman. Appreciate it. Do you boo? Yeah, I'm crying over here. I'm crying from the cold. I got icicles growing off the house like this big. So, but it's okay. It's a real winter wonderland up here. But yeah, tonight's gonna be a brutal one. But yeah, I love that idea of that whole idea of capturing the culture. Um, I'll see like a lot of old pictures of buildings around this area of shops that once were, but there's not a lot of inside pictures. And you see the people and stuff, and it's like, man, I had the ability now to actually like record their story. Um, and so I would love to share their story and their experiences in here. And sometimes maybe during the springtime when guys are set up out front with antiques and you got people moving in the buildings and the chit chat and everything. I would love to be able to kind of capture that. It's so unique. It's almost like I've heard some of the guys who come up from downstate. They're like, it's like you guys are living in the 1950s up here, and it's true to a very large extent. And sometimes when you grow up in an area, it's real easy to forget about these things or kind of lose sight of that, or you don't look at the like I'm driving around, look at this beautiful countryside, and it's like, well, look what I live in. It's beautiful hills. It's really cool. So I'd love to put that in a time capsule. So part of my writing that I've been doing is to capture my experiences doing this and maybe some of the videos of the individuals that have been a part of this as well. So let's see what the chat's saying in here. Currently 10 below here. Wow, dang, man. Make up to Alaska, give a shout, we'll drink a beer, kill fish. That's what's up. Yeah. I would definitely be down, Damon. Definitely be down for that. I have some buddies, they're Aleut Indians. Um, they live up here now and they go, well, they used to go every year down to visit. And I've thought about making a little trip with them. Um, but yeah, that'd be wicked cool, man. I'd be down for that. Georgia. Okay, you're in Georgia. That's what's up. I passed through Macon and wherever else I go through there. That's awesome. I went to a couple Georgia plantations actually last year, passing through. Really cool. Yes, it's so interesting. Love to see documentaries on booksellers and so on. Yeah, so I'll talk about that a little bit, mate, because I had another idea. But ideas are easy, it's trying to implement them. Let's see how else we're doing. Alan, hoping to make a trip up to the shop again next year. You gonna do another big reopening? Alan, it's good to hear from you, my friend. Yeah, Alan came up when I was doing a big grand opening of the Red Building, and I promoted it on here and everything. I don't know if I'm gonna do a big party thing, but if I know you're coming, I'll fire up a grill for you. So we'll see. I'm trying to create another business upstairs of that Red Building. I don't know if you were aware, but I get in it's going to be like a physical media store, kind of a supplementary business to the bookstore. Because I don't sell much of that online, but I sell a ton of CDs, DVDs. Put records up there. I want a pinball machine, Miss Pac-Man arcade, a bar. What else? Stuff like that. Because I want to make it a place that I would hang out in too. I love playing some cards, so maybe play some cards, maybe okay, chess, something like that. So that's going to be built out. Now, when that's built out, then maybe that's when I have a big opening, and I have a name for it. I'm going to call it Monty's Media because my last name is Monteleone, and the other side of the family calls us Monty's, and so it's going to be Monty's Media. So I thought that was kind of fun. And my buddy Kent, I'll pull up the logo he created. My buddy Ken, I mean, made a really cool logo for it. And yeah, and if the business is taken off of both of them, you know, then maybe I consider opening a year round. But I started doing a seasonal business because I was losing it. I needed to get out in the winter, and business slows way down in this area. Let me see if I can pull up an image of the Monty's Media. I thought he did a really cool job. It's like a retro look. I got so many pictures on here. But I also want to decorate that building kind of wild, like so that it's wicked stand out. Like have an airplane coming out of it. Um, I'm gonna put a Sasquatch up in the window, like crazy stuff going on. I want it to be like an attraction, and say, oh, that's that crazy shop in Smithville. So hold on, I'll try to find this and I'll read the chat meanwhile while I'm looking. Um, yeah, Lapina live music. We back in the early days of this shop, guys, musicians would come. We jam out here till 3, 4 in the morning. We would play music out front, put the lights on, drink, and you know, and stuff. Have a lot of fun, and just yeah, it was a blast. Like I know some really great musicians that come out too. Country singers, like everybody, you name it. My buddy Jojo was in uh, what is it? Is it Jerry Valley? Frankie Valley, cover band. Wicked talented guy, a lot of fun. So guys come around. Guys used to come around a lot and play music, but since I was closed this year, we didn't really do any of that. So I love live music. I love it. I have so much fun. I love to dance. I really do. I'm gonna look for this. So yeah, live music is there's a lot of talented people out there in this world, and I love giving them whatever exposure I can as well through the shop. So I don't know if I'm. Oh, you know what? I know how to find this image. It's going to be in my messages. I'll show you the Monty's Media message or imagery. Here we go. Hold up. Let's see what other the chat sounds cool. Shindigger now. Def Drive up again. Yeah, for sure, Alan. And you know something? If you're still there, just give me a call or something. Let me know ahead of time so I make sure I'm here, okay? Because I haven't been around as much as I normally would be. Here, check out that image. There you go. First look, Monty's Media. Maybe I'll get that in neon. It's probably going to cost me an arm and a leg, but how cool is that? And then he did another one, like with the blue glow. So it'll be a cool chill spot. I mean, it's going to be a spot that I'd want to hang out in. And I also want to get House of the Dead up there. So yeah, I kind of want to get some arcades and stuff. I always had fun doing that stuff. So yeah, it should be cool. You've got a life-size R2D2. That's different, Amy. I could put them on the roof or put them in the shop if you want to sell them. That'd be cool. Cool. The full Monty. Yeah. Yep. You get the full Monty. I don't know how to take that comment, so I'll have to sidestep. But yeah, they can get half the Monty. Half the Monty's enough for most. But anyhow, I like that image he came up with. I think it's really cool. So it's gonna be a fun shop. I sell so you see the thing is again tapping into your local market. Well, out here, a lot of people have hunting cabins and stuff. They come up from downstate. They don't want to pay for a streaming service, but they'll buy $1 DVD all day and they'll buy 10 of them. You know, it's like done with it done. They might bring them back and buy another 10. So it's working pretty cool. I sell a buck a disc, CDs. I mean, there's a collector's market for everything. My prices are as low as they get. Uh, bottom. Excuse me. But if I'm able to provide that kind of stuff at a more than reasonable price point, I'm very happy to do so. So I like making people happy, but I still get people bitching about $4 books. So figure that out. you're always going to have a complainer. So it's insane to try to keep that kind of person happy. I don't even attempt to. I just laugh at them anymore. So, but anyhow, yeah, so if you're tuning in, I'm going to just put this in the comment thing again, my Christmas Whatnot show. I'm going to add some more books to it during this week, and I'm running another one at 5:30 p.m. tomorrow. I'm kind of training somebody to take over a little bit for at least the Tuesday shows. Um, she's going to help me out, and I'm going to kind of show her how to do it, and we're going to do a little bit of back and forth. But I'd like to get her set up and moving. So she wants to come in and run a Tuesday show. Friday nights are mine. I'm going to be there every Friday, unless if I'm sick or something, So, and check out the gear. Everything Book Peddler, baby. Whoop, where is it? Everything the Peddler. So I'm going to order t-shirts. Actually, I'm going to order Book Daddy t-shirts. But boy, did the prices get expensive. It's like $19 a shirt now to order them. So trying to figure out a little bit of a better deal, because that's a bit pricey to have a shirt made. But and you get all this stock and inventory in. And then maybe what I'll do is, if I'll have people take a picture with my shirt somewhere, and I'll post it, or you can post it on one of your social things, or tag me in it, and it'll help. Like every time Lapina makes these shorts, anybody who makes a short off of something that I sold them or whatever, I always reuse it, because I just don't have the time or the wherewithal or know with all the time to make effective ones. I'm a little bit of a dinosaur with some of this stuff, and to be honest, by choice. So anyhow, I really appreciate that too, Lapina, and everybody who has done that. And I get pictures of people sending me with their shirts all the time. I have pictures in Britain, Scotland, California, Florida, Jersey, the island, all over. So it's really, it makes me smile. That's so cool to me that you're out there representing me, and I do appreciate that. Yeah, you like these sweaters? I'm having these are kind of pricey, so again, I got to figure out the price points, and I would love to send you one, Amy. You're a long-term hardcore peddlerette, and I was either I'm gonna do Book Daddy shirts, and then I thought about doing Book Baddie shirts for the ladies, but a lot of the women seem to want the Book Daddy as well, so maybe I'll just do Book Daddy shirts. So peddler, yeah, I just that was off top of the head, but yeah, it is a good a good one. Yeah. I really appreciate that, Lapina. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been a fun experience. Doing these different platforms. There's some really nice people out there I've met. I met people that have followed my channels. In this shop, I met them on the road. I usually don't advertise when I'm leaving the shop, so I just kind of go. And if I have enough time and have it in my mind, I'll reach out to people if I'm not too busy. So, but I would love to get over to that West Coast someday, and I actually might have a very substantial pick in Texas at some point. At some point, someone I've dealt with in the past, and I'll probably drive right out, because I'm not flying no more. I can't stand it. I just won't do it. So I'll probably haul it out there, and I'll probably document the trip a little bit. So for you guys, but anyhow, we'll see. At some point that'll come through, and there's some really fantastic material out there. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, that's about that. So if you guys have any other questions, be sure put them in the link. Yeah, Amy, I can't do it. I can't do it. And the TSA stuff, I can't do it. I just, I like the freedom of being on the road, going at my own pace, and enjoying myself on the trip. Um, I do not like the planes anymore. It's like you're treated like a criminal every time. Hands up. I don't do the scanners, so they got to pat me down every time. You know, I'm always like, hey, I think you missed something, buddy. Why don't you want me again? Let me see here. Excuse me for one moment, but yeah, flying's not my cup of tea anymore at all. So, but that's okay. I mean, I'd love to go overseas someday. So when I decide to go overseas, I'll bite the bullet. But there's so much to see in this country. We live in such a beautiful country. There's just so much out there that I'd like to keep seeing. So West Coast trip is definitely in the cards at some point. I never made it out to Washington State. My sister moved back this way, but I would love to see that state and many others. So, but anyhow, let me see if I have anything else to show you guys. I showed you some of the books. I wrote down Robert Service, Emily Dickinson. Again, tomorrow night, 5:30 p.m. We'll be in that red building. So if you guys have any other authors you would like to see, this video will be premiering on the playback, and you guys can add in the comment section if there's something you'd like, if you plan on joining in on the show. So, but other than that, yeah, what can I say? Life is good, and I'm working very hard to create more personal freedom for myself, and that's always the main goal. So it's a continuous process, but I'm sure steady but surely gonna keep moving in that direction. So that's what's important to me, anyhow. But anyhow, it's been great. If you guys have anything else you want to put in the comments, it's a real joy to see you in here tonight. And it's a Christmas show, so Merry Christmas to y'all, wherever you might be. So appreciate all your support as always. So I can't say that enough. It's been a blessing to get the eyes on this channel, and I will try not to neglect it as much as I have had to this year. But I got a life to live too, I'm not always on the screens. So oh, thank you very much, Amy. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, if you guys see anything on my eBay, it's Book Peddler Phil. If you don't like the price, put in your own price and maybe I'll accept it. Tell me you're a YouTube subscriber. It helps. I still ain't gonna give stuff away, but it helps. I got a little soft spot in my heart for my YouTubers, especially the long-term people. So for sure, it truly is a blessing. I mean that for all the way. So it was funny when I started on YouTube. I just did it purely out of bare necessity at first, but I also recognized that there was a market in it and nobody else was really doing it. So I think Adam Weinberg was doing it. Brian DeMombro was doing it. And there was somebody else, I think, but it was all mostly Amazon, big sellers saying how you can make $1 million and yada yada, Barnum and Bailey circus out there. So I said, let me show people what I get in. I think it's pretty cool, and give them a little insight into kind of what I'm doing and kind of how my business is operating. Just a small window, but so it's been enjoyable. I'm happy I got on this thing. So anyhow, you guys done hearing me yet? You gotta enjoy the rest of your night. I'm gonna go make something to eat. No, actually, I'm gonna work a little more in here. That's what I'm gonna do. I have loads of books. I showed it on my one stream. I'm on the laptop, so I can't really take you around. But that pile gets deeper and deeper. There's like 30 boxes there. It goes deep, and I have a place that I'm gonna clear out on Monday, Tuesday. Some cool stuff. So, keeping me busy, keeping me very, very busy. So, anyhow, it's my life, bookseller. All right, I'm going to sign off here, but if anybody has something else they want to add, feel free to put it in. I'm also open to answering questions, or anything like that, whether that's about the shop or future plans or anything like that. I would love to, you know, provide you with some type of, I guess, answer to you, or what I think about things or whatever. You're more than welcome to. Yeah, you're very welcome, May. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of your support. So I see you guys when you share stuff and when you like stuff for the most part. So I'm starting to get pattern recognition with other people coming in. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. So I saw you made that cool sale of that big book set. So that's fantastic. Good for you. I kind of like dealing with large book sets, and a lot of dealers don't, and I understand because the weight involved, but or how much the physical material weighs and shipping it out can be a bit daunting. So, but if you have a nice book set, you can usually make a turn on it, if at the very least for aesthetic purposes, you know. So some people collect just on the bindings, so alone, to just for decor. I mentioned it before, some of the biggest sales I've ever seen from major players in the book game have been purely on that, sales for decor. So there's something to be said about it. That's for sure. So, but anyhow, it's uh it's very interesting. It's like I came into the whole book world, like 11 years ago now, and I've seen things evolve that have been very interesting. Um, Sourcing evolve, and it's been a very interesting to see certain transitions within this business, and there's kind of no telling as to the potential of it, or where it can go. So staying on top, and also a bit of that is being creative. Um, so anyhow, and exploring new ideas and refining systems. So yeah, you'll get them sold. Everything sells at some point. It's just finding the right person, obviously. But once it's listed, it's up, and then you got to and then, like, I'll play the eBay game sometimes, work the shop a bit, whether that's delist, relist, or sell similar stuff like that every period of time. Run my sales. It's all about cash flow. Honestly, it's that cash flow. And then certain ones I'm willing to wait a long time. I had a book in here, my biggest sale made last year. That book sat for like 5 years. But I don't talk about grand numbers and stuff. I don't get into that because I don't think it's appropriate. But that individual book fetched $8,000 last year at the beginning of the year. But it took me a few years to sell it. So once you start reaching certain different levels here, I don't mind. That's worth waiting for. I don't need to put it up for auction and get 1,000 for it or whatever, you know. So Amy is asking, if you were, I appreciate the questions. If you were starting right now, do you think you'd do eBay or whatnot first? That's a good question. Um, you know, it's kind of tough for me to answer. I would probably, stick with eBay, but I would make sure I could do a consistent show on whatnot. The learning curve in this business has been very extensive for me. Uh, it's you're always learning, which is a lot of fun with it, but there's periods of time that you have to see certain things through. And yes, if in the beginning you're not always going to know what's good and what's not. Uh, everybody's thoughts are kind of different about that kind of thing. I mean, the cash flow on whatnot is good, generally speaking. Um, but yeah, I guess I would experiment with a little bit of both. I don't know if I would just choose one or the other. I think the biggest problem most people have is the discipline to be your own boss, wake up every day and have a structure to your life a little bit. At this point, I was just talking to a fellow dealer. I get more done in 3 hours than I ever did in 6 or 8 because I have my routine now. So developing that and perseverance, I think, is the number one thing. Just seeing it through. I don't think either one is necessarily better than the other. I think if you pick one platform, try to build that out. That's what I would personally recommend. Build out one first and then add to it. So whether it's Whatnot or eBay, uh, pick one, try to be the best at it, learn the business, uh, keep track of your numbers. That's the most important thing. That's a very important thing too. I talk to guys that have no clue what their numbers are. You, you can't run a business if you don't know your numbers. So cost, blah, 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 So yeah, and I wouldn't say May's saying I'm still scared of Whatnot, camera shy. I wouldn't say it's best for everybody. I mean, some people market it as, the best thing since I don't know, they say sliced bread, right? But uh there's always been auctions. It's nothing new. The aspect of it is the personalization. That's what that's what separates it from a standard auction. It's that personal, like we're doing right now, right? But auctions aren't new. um and I don't recommend it for everybody. I actually try to deter people from doing these things just as much as I am encouraging as well. I'm not going to be a cheerleader and say, yeah, do this. This is the way to go. It's a no-brainer. No, it's not. It's not a no-brainer. You got to buy the inventory. Let me put it to you this way, actually. If I go on a big haul, say I buy 1,000 books, right? Say I spend 500, say it's 1,000, we'll just do $1,000, a buck a book, whatever. Usually you want to try to actually, your spending should be 20 to 30 cents on the dollar. It shouldn't really be any more of that. My offer's on 10% of that allotment. Generally speaking, 10% is what I'm putting on eBay or in the shop or what have you. I have different avenues, right? But to run a show, I'll do like 40 to 50 lots. It'll take 2 hours. Sometimes it'll go into even 3 hours, right? It's a lot of time. It's a lot of packing. There's a lot involved. And there's not one right way to run a show or a wrong way. It's what works best for you. But some people aren't going to be comfortable on camera. Some people aren't good on camera. Some people, not everybody's going to like you either. So it's definitely something that you got to get used to, because it's not normal to put a phone in front of your face and start recording. I'm talking to myself in an empty room here. It's weird. To me, it's weird. I know I'm talking to you guys now, but it does take some time getting used to. So it's not for everybody, but another site may be better than another. So, but it's not like it can be a cash cow for some people. But again, some people that I see, the way they're obtaining material, some people do consignment. Well, they don't have that money going out like you or I might have, right? They also got to keep track of all that stuff. I don't know if it's a 50-50 split. Like, what's your time worth? So one thing that I really have always enjoyed about eBay is having a little bit more control, right? So when it's listed, it's up. And Whatnot is great. It's been great for me. But what has helped me is my positioning. Uh, I have social platforms that I built outside of that, so I've been able to pull people into this one now. So it was an advantage. It's not equal footing. If you're just starting out, um, it could probably be pretty daunting. But you can do it. Anybody can do it. But anyhow, sometimes I maybe I'm saying too much. Um, but yeah, I just see a lot of people out there cheerleading for a lot of different ways, and I don't think it's necessarily. I don't think it's conducive for the majority of people, though. And usually, it comes attached with a program they have to sell you. So anyhow, I'm. But yeah, just my 2 cents. You ask, I shall deliver something. So, but I used to sell on Amazon quite heavily. But I just whatever works best, whatever works best. So right now, how I'm doing it is working the best. Again, I think it comes down to consistency, being consistent. So, but it's very interesting. It's very. I have a lot of different thoughts about a lot of different things involving sites, sellers, you name it. So, but anyhow, it's that. Yeah, yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, May. Thank you. Thank you for the question. I appreciate it. You know, might be right, might be wrong. I don't know. Yeah. Some people who know me more on a personal level, I talk a little bit more freely with them. But on my YouTube, I try to keep it not completely cookie cutter, but I want to try to be a little nice too. So Amy knows. That's why Amy's grinning. She's heard things. So little inside baseball here and there. But anyhow, the one thing is, I'll tell you this: you can't buy your way into this business. Uh, I think that's important to understand. Just if you're buying thousands of dollars worth of books, it doesn't mean you're a bookseller. It means you have a spending problem. Uh, to learn the trade actually takes legitimate work. I mean, it goes without saying, but um, just because I buy a bunch of books or whatever, I'd like to think I progressed from a greenhorn at this point, but there is a lot to learn about the book itself, the business. And one mistake I see a lot of people do is try to replicate other people that they see that are that maybe they have bigger pocketbooks or something in there. You got to pay attention to these margins. It's very, very important. You could go book poor, as my buddy Mook says, where you're buying so much, you have so much to get to. This is every bookstore's problem, the majority of them, and you can't physically go through it all. You can say no. Get used to saying no too. You can I pass on more deals than I take. There's no such thing as a free book. I'll touch one book 8 times sometimes. So it's refining the processes, and it's a vision of what do you want to do with this? Where do you just want a little extra side cash? That's one thing. If you want to make it like a career pursuit, completely different. My number one recommendation is apprentice under an established book dealer. It'll cut your certain learning curves right in half. So I'm always on my best behavior, Amy. I have to be. I have to be. I've sometimes I can't stand it. Like I'm genuinely a decent human being, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes I'd like to really say what I think, and I always feel like I have to kind of, contain it a bit. So, and sometimes I don't like to be contained, but I'm try to be appropriate. I try to treat it like I'm talking to a relative. Okay, so they don't need to know everything. I'll tell them a little bit, and I'll say it nice. Oh, my coffee got cold. Dang it! But yeah, yeah, I am genuinely a nice person. I am. I am. Oh, geez. So anyhow, I am. But yeah, that's that on platforms and stuff like that. I mean, sometimes I'll make detailed videos, as maybe some of you have said, on what I think about a certain specific subject or thing about bookstores or the business. You know what I'm saying? So it takes me a little bit of time, and I'm writing them down. I'm actually trying to come out with a part 2 here. I'm a good talker, I guess. I could run my mouth for way too long. Everybody knows that at this point. But I'm trying to make a part 2 as to when it comes to when you're at the house on the buy in front of the person. A lot of book people seem to be very socially kind of inadequate or whatever. Well, I don't want to use the word inadequate, but they might not be as, and it's not that you have to be a social butterfly when you're dealing with people. The less you say, the better. So I'm putting together a video to kind of help out some of these guys and to have the confidence and what has worked best for me when I'm on the buy to prevent a bad decision, basically. Because a lot of buying early on was emotional based, or it's easy for it to happen that way. Put it that way, So to rein it in a little bit to make a proper decision, how I approach it now, and when I'm in front of somebody, how I deal with that person, and a lot of it is kind of behavioralism, and it was like psychology before I even really understood what that meant, but putting yourself in the seller's shoes, and some are easier to work with than with others, but usually you can come to some type of agreement, I think so. But anyways, who knows? Everybody's got their own style and way of doing things. I just try to put out what's worked best for me, obviously. Anyhow, I'm an hour 20 in, and I think I'm gonna close out this video. So unless if there's something else that you want to put in there, I don't mind. I cleared a portion of time here. If not, I appreciate you guys joining me. So it's been a very long time since I've done a live on YouTube, and a long time since I put up a video. So, I want to touch base and also promote the Christmas show, which once again, I'll put in the comment section. Excuse me. And once again, it'll be linked up in this video when it airs tonight for anybody coming in and wants to check it out. So, but I hope y'all are able to be with family and people you love and care about. And remember, you're supposed to talk about politics, religion, and make a memory. That's what it's about. So right now I've been buying stuff for actually my sister. Thank God I have sisters. They bought all the gifts for the nieces and nephews. So that was very helpful. I used to, when I would buy something, I would just put it in like a paper bag and give it to them. But during the sale season, my mind is just like sell, sell, sell. So that's why, like, after this coming Friday show, I'm gonna buckle down and start actually finding things for people. But I wish I had like a wife to help me with that stuff. Anyhow, all right. All my love, all my love. All right, I'm closing out. Merry Christmas. See ya. I'll see ya into the next year. I'll try to be a little bit better on my camera. Let's see what Amy says. I've been Christmas shopping from you on Whatnot. I think I have a pre-bid in. Oh, for the Christmas show. Yep. If I don't make it on, have a great holiday season. Dance with your niece. Absolutely. I got my pictures of her right here. I love where are they? She's the best. I was playing with her yesterday. They're so smart. They're so fun. Amy saw the pictures of my little niece. We dance in the red building when she comes to visit me. She's the sweetest thing on this earth. It's my favorite person I want to be around all the time. She loves me so much. So, and by the way, Amy, those Bob books, I'm ordering them for her from your recommendation. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Amy from Tennessee. Yeah, she is a doll. She's I call her my stink. I got a lot of names for her. We all have nicknames. I call her Stink. What else do I call her? Stinky Pants. Kenna Bear. She's my little sweetie. Yeah, I love her. I smile thinking about that kid. Oh, you're sending them to me. Are you serious? That's so sweet of you. Thank you very much, Amy. You don't. I didn't know you were gonna do that. I was gonna go order a bunch. Well, man, that's wicked nice of you, Amy. That's wicked nice. Yeah, I love my nieces and nephews. I have a bunch of them. Uh, I have a bunch of them. Shout out to all of them. There's what keeps the keeps the lineages going. So Alexa, Carmela, Antonio, Maria, Ben, Elena, Landon, all of them. I love them. And little McKenna, my sweetie pie. Yeah, it's the best, Lapina. It's I always wanted like 10 kids, but I married a bookstore instead, apparently. There might be something running around out there currently, but nothing I guess I'd admit to. I'm joking. But yeah, I love kids. I love every time the kids come in my red building, um, like my buddy Ray's been helping me run the shop, but I'm always give him the books, give him the books. I want them to, what's very sad is I don't think a lot of parents even read to their children anymore. And I think it's like a disgrace. Like, what are you doing? You know? And a lot of the people that I know that are teachers say these graduating classes have like an 8th grade reading level, like comprehension level. So, you know, I'd love to. It'd be so cool to make reading something very cool again, desirable to do. It's the best. It's the best thing to work your brain, in my opinion. It's so easy to click on that TV. But I'll tell you, I didn't have a TV for over 10 years. I didn't have TV for over 10 years. College, I had one with little antennas that I'd watch a show ever so often. Um, you know, okay, college was pretty rough. I had a fold-out table and a fold-out chair and a mattress. That was about it. But when I didn't have a TV, I did so much, learned so much. You can learn anything you want and I love movies. I love movies. Don't get me wrong. I love movies. This phone is the biggest addiction. So I'd love to separate from that more, but there's nothing like having a book in your hand and that physical connection, the eye to hand, hand to whatever. You absorb it better. You create the imagery in your head. It's not given to you on a screen. It's really fantastic. I just think you absorb it, a lot better. So I think though, before books came to be, I was thinking about this. What is interesting is maybe people's memories though without books was a lot better. There's something called like the griots and stuff in Africa. I think every place in the world had them that knew the auditory, if I'm saying that, history of an area on memory, you know, and so it's interesting to think about before the writing systems and reading. So I don't know what to make of that. Like I'm not saying books are, bad. I don't want to shoot my own business in the foot, but it's just interesting to think about. I don't know if that's right or not, but it gave me something to kind of think about because that was passed on through verbal means, for generation upon generation. And a lot of their stories seem to remain pretty consistent. Like I used to hear it like slandered when it came to biblical, like it was a game of telephone, but I don't think that's accurate at all. Actually, that was like their job was to memorize and inherit those stories and pass them further. And I mean, I could stand corrected, but I do believe that they don't differ very much from generations preceding them. So I don't know, just an interesting thought, but anyhow. Oh, I know you would be. You'd be, I've thought about doing a reading thing for the kids. And maybe someday when I get things to where they need to be, then I can devote more time to trying to do stuff like that. in hosting stuff. My buddy C.S. Miller runs a bookstore in Norwich, and he runs it, you know, like, well, kind of like I tried to in the beginning, but like a bookstore with community events. Not saying if you're a bookstore and don't have them, it's not a real bookstore, but he tries to involve that element a lot more, and I really respect him for it because it's very difficult to do. But I would love to do stuff like that in the future at some point. Um, in our area in the winter, there's not much to do, so I was thinking of starting with like maybe the adults and doing a chess club or things like that with the creation of the space upstairs. Um, Amy from Tennessee says it's so horrible that kids can't read anymore. I guess that kids listen to everything now. I don't know. Yeah, it's one thing that I really respect though is I know the people, at least some of them in my family, they don't allow the kids any screen time. My little niece is not around a phone or a TV. To me, it's creating brain damaged people. I think there's studies. I can't reference a direct study, but people that watch a lot of TV, they get early Alzheimer's or however you say that. And it makes sense, like turning your brain to freaking mush, I think, but it's very addicting. Same with the phones, it's changing people's behavior. But I'll tell you one thing, that little kid knows that this is important to some extent because she does see adults on it. She knows there's something about that. She no fool, I'll tell you that. But we keep the screens away from her, and same with my brother's kid, and I know friends that are trying to raise their kids the same way. It's not easy, but motherhood, fatherhood isn't. It's not going to be easy. So, um, you know. But anyhow, what do I know? I don't have kids, so I just get to spoil the ones that are around me. So, and Amy from New Hampshire is kind of like jotting down a note so you won't forget. Then you forget because you don't have to remember. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's something, man. I've been trying to keep better notes, and I write down my stuff on this so that I know what to do daily or any thought that comes in my head. I've been trying to get better at it, but it just becomes just a garbled mess, really. But it's helping. It's helping me get there. It's helping me stay right on point. So, okay. Y'all done with me? Merry Christmas. Join in for the Whatnot show. Oh, let's see. Amy says referring to oral tradition before writing, really having to remember. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I would say yeah, that's accurate. I mean, it forced you to remember. Like some people aren't good with remembering other people's names. And I think they say the trick to remember a name is to associate the person with something. Um, Amy's for apples or something like that, right? Um, and I don't know how they did it so well in the past like that, but yeah. Um, Whether it's writing these notes, there was a guy who a numbers guy that used to keep a lot of it in his head because he didn't want paper trails. So you can train yourself to do it for sure, you know. But yeah, I find it interesting. So with the books, it was just I had that thought. I was like, man, that's kind of interesting to think about. Like their recall was so much better. So it was just interesting to think about. But Merry Christmas, Adam. Merry Christmas. Thank you for coming on this on the stream. Merry Christmas to everybody, of course. And you guys can tune into that Whatnot show running one tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. And then the main one, the Christmas show, this Friday at 7 p.m. And yeah, I might even put up a couple shirts that people could purchase. I don't know. I'll try to think of something to do for people who bought. So I appreciate all your support on that channel. And of course, on my YouTube channel. So Merry Christmas. I think I'm signing off. I give it 10 seconds. If there's anything else you want to put in the chat, I have no problem answering a question, whether that's a business related, you name it. I'm yours for 10 to 20 seconds here, and then I'm out. So anyhow, so you can click away if you'd like. It doesn't bother me one bit. So okay, I think that's good night. Good night. Good night. Thank you very much for joining me. Have a great Christmas, Amy. Lapina, May, Amy's, all the Amy's out there. Thank you. You got you as well. You as well. It's been a wonderful Merry Christmas to you guys. I love y'all. Appreciate all your support. So we'll see you later. See ya. That's it. This is a cool platform. See the book day behind the scenes and connect. Yeah. It's kind of fun. I'm glad you had it. You thought it was cool, Lapina. Yeah, usually not see my face. You're seeing the book. So next time I'll trim this up a little bit. See you, sweetheart. Have a good night, everybody.